All right, then let's start with sketch for Octopus. Today I don't have prepared a drawing as usually. Today we will do a bit more freestyle experiment. So yeah, what you know about Octopus? He has a big head and lots of long, yeah, let's say. So I suggest we take kind of all the sheet. So so all the space, I mean, yes, we don't do the octopus one small in the corner. We do it all with all his legs all around. So maybe it's like somewhere here, maybe in the corner, I can put his head. Yeah, so maybe also give him an eye.
Evie,
See?
do I also need to draw it now?
Yes, yes, let's draw now together, yes. So we are starting the painting. So you do it with a pencil. So here I'm starting the head of Octopus. After the head, he always has like this part of body, you know, and from the body are coming the longer legs. And here, feel free a bit to move around your page. So let's say, let's do one leg together. Here is one leg. Maybe it's coming long like this. Yeah. And then I follow the line. But remember that the line is thicker in the start. So the leg is bigger in the start. And in the end, it gets more thin. Yes, in the end, it's almost like a tiny line. Yes. Don't worry if the lines are not perfect, because we will be adding, you know, those circles. Like, so now I put them so you can imagine. Yeah. And yeah, so the circles also can come in some parts. So like say in some parts they're visible, in some parts maybe less visible. But now let's have fun with legs. He has lots of legs. So let's go maybe with another one. Maybe another one also goes somewhere here. Feel free to have your direction for the legs. Yeah. It's Octopus, he's moving. Yeah, so I have defined the head, and from the head, I go around. So if you also put the circles, then also the same. The circles are bigger, closer to the body, and they're smaller till the end. But don't worry about putting circles now too much, because it's easier when we do it with paint. You can do it also with brush or with the ear bud. Yeah, so this sticks for ears, these cotton ones. This can also be good. So another leg. Let me see where maybe. Yeah, so feel free also legs kind of crossing. And where else? And some here. Doesn't have to be all 8 legs. Yeah, maybe there is some leg that we don't see. What there will be one more task today with the painting, is try to show something that is closer to us and other parts that are far away. Yes, it's a very practical, good thing to practice in general when you do any painting. When you paint trees, some trees are far away, the other trees close. So how you do it to show this difference? No, so we will try to do it with the legs of octopus. Yeah, and on the way I will be explaining how it works, what are the ways to do it. Feel free to correct your legs. So feel free to use a razor. Yeah, take your time to precise. Yeah, we have lots of time, no rush. No. Yes, 1, 2. Yeah, so in the end, I also end up with kind of this body part. So there is a head and his legs are going out, but not directly from the head. They're going out like from this body part. Yeah, let's say like here, this part. And what we will also do, so we have our circle for the head, and we will plan now one line. So you kind of double the line, but a bit smaller than you already have. And why we do this? It's to remember to color this area lighter than the inside part of the head. Maybe we do here some lines also. So this one, it helps to show that the head has volume. So it's not plain, that is volume. So maybe around the eye, I can also do a bit lighter, darker. And some parts where are the legs, the body, the same, like we will do the contour of octopus a bit lighter, but in some places, not all. Yeah, because there is also light shining from top, from the water. If you want to add, let's say maybe some fishes, in the end we can put some company for the octopus here, so he's not lonely. But in this case, it's also either you plan, so to leave some space, or in the end, if it feels too, there is some space, maybe too empty, then you can add fishes. Yeah. So take time for your sketch. If you're ready, let me know. Yeah, can be usually like thumbs up on a screen. Then I see you, or with the voice, of course, as well. No? How are you doing, Sanjana?
I'm almost done.
Oh, you're quick. Good job.
I think I'm done. I'm not.
Wow, girls. Yeah, Juliet, Ellie also done. No,
I'm
well,
also done.
cool. Then we can move slowly to paints. I will explain what I have. So I have different pinks. So you can gather, let's say, typical red, one lighter, because remember I told you we're going to do the head, the contour a bit lighter, inside a bit darker. So this we can do with pink. With red is good to mix maybe with some a bit brown or some sienna. We will try, yeah, how it looks, because octopus has a bit kind of red, brownish, purplish. Yeah, so I have here also one very like pink, yeah, closer to magenta color. So just search, maybe also purple. Purple color can also work well. Yes, this is for octopus. Then I have some blue. So of course we're doing the water. You can also have, let's say, lighter blue and darker blue, and we have lighter blue on top because the light is coming from up, and darker, yeah, but the water we make like
Evie,
see. Yes,
what are the colors for the octopus again?
yes, let's go again. So generally the octopus will be, let's say, reddish brown. Yes, but I need also lighter pink. So here I have red and I have pink. I can also, instead of pink, just mix red with the white, because I need to get like two different colors. Yes, we go together and I show you. What you can also do, you can use, let's say, maybe you have more different pinks. You can experiment. You can use the other pink or the purple. Yes, but the general set is reddish, purplish, brown. Yeah, because it will be different. The octopus, we need create him different. Yeah, and the blues. But let's go slowly putting paints on palette, and then it will be clear. Yeah? So I put some red. Yep. So I will also put this light pink. Yeah. The only difference with this light pink is that, so you buy it ready. It's already mixed with white.
Evie, can I
Mhm.
can I also mix the pink with white and red?
Of course, exactly. Good point. So we can experiment. I will also put here white. Yes, and then we can see together how it works. It's always better kind of have less paints, and what I will do, I will also put here a bit of light blue. I know that it is coming for sky, but maybe I will want a bit of purple for the octopus. So in purple I make with, yes, red, blue, dark purple, or light blue and pink for light purple. And then I also put black and brown a little bit somewhere in the corner. Just like for some parts. If I need, yeah, to darken up, because we're showing light. To show light, we need to put shadow. Yeah, so this is more or less my setup. And usually it's typical to start your painting with light colors, and then you slowly move to the darker. So let's try also mixing maybe. So let's get some pink. Yeah, if you don't have it I didn't exactly hear how by Sanyana's suggestion. Also, I don't use the ready one. I can simply mix. And remember, much more white and a tiny dot of red. Yes, because red is powerful. So you need more white paint to get the pink. Yeah. And what we can do, we can go like the contour of Octopus. And no worries, so you don't need to get a thin line. You can go also like more, because you know the darker red that we're putting on top, yeah, it's gonna cover it. So this, I'm creating this contour, so maybe somewhere here where the legs are, yes, some parts. Doesn't have to be all the leg. So imagine the light is shining, and in some parts, as the octopus gets light. So I'm playing around with this pink. It's like preparing the base, you know, then later to put on top. So this will be our light parts of our octopus. Yes, and it's better to do them more than less. Because as I said, to cover them is easy, but if you wanna get them more and you already have everything kind of with other, yeah, with darker paints, then it's harder to get light on top. Like even if acrylics, they of course cover, still it will not look so light and transparent, because here we put light and we still see the paper. So this gives us this yes. So maybe just a bit more, just to stay on the safe side. If I need the light, it's going to be there, but all right. So the next task will be trying to create the main color for our octopus. That is this reddish, brown, purplish, let's say. But the most important is to create beautiful color. So don't create like too much brown, or don't make it dirty, dark. The color should be very kind of happy and pleasant to see, because that's our main object to paint. So let's say I take the main red and I will add a little bit of brown, but very little bit, just because I want to deeper the color. Yeah, so I see it's turning like a bit more calm, yeah, when I add brown. And I can take a look. If I like this color, yeah, maybe I use it, and then later I mix some extra. What I will do, I will mix on the side a bit of purple, and I will see if I like it together. Yes. So basically what I did in this mix, I added a little bit of light blue. So in the end I have red, I have tiny bit of brown, and I have a little bit of blue. So I have this kind of exactly reddish purplish. But also try, like when you mix on palette is one, on the paper is different. So usually you try somewhere, don't go right in the middle, maybe somewhere small line, see how it looks. If you say, yeah, color looks good, then you can proceed. Yeah. And here I also like to use, so my brush is not very wet. Here it's more also with this dry brush technique. So you see, I paint, and sometimes brush is painting, sometimes not. So it's kind of leaving these brush strokes. And with this I can play. So it creates kind of a bit of texture. And what is good, that later when this layer, this color is dry, I can go and in between add some other color. So in those emptinesses, don't worry that they're left. Then we fill them up later. But now, so this main color that I mixed and I choose, I'm putting, so mainly where the head is. I remember to leave this contour a bit, yeah. So if the contour looks too big, you can smaller it, so it's just like tiny light as if it's shining through. And somewhere, so as I said, somewhere I do this dry brush, so I have the strokes, but some places I can also add a bit more water and then just color. Yeah, so creating this a bit different. I suggest we go also with this dark around the eye. So we have a circle for eye. It's going to be white with some black inside, but around we create something like a bag, let's say the eye. So then it's also kind of accent is there. And if you still the mix left, then continue to the body. Yes, the complicated thing with this, like now you do like strange mix, red and brownish a little bit, you experiment to get this color, you know, that might fit. And the problem is that then it's over on your palette, and it means you have to mix it again. And then of course it's not always easy to get the same. So this is one of the things you as an artist should plan and think, and let's say, okay, with this mix I do this and this, and when it's over, then I mix similar, but then I use it for other parts, let's say for legs, and yeah, so where maybe color is different, but the head, let's say, colored with one. Yeah. And what I do now, I continue with this darker and the legs, but I go kind of next to my pink lines. Yeah, so I still have the light. And again, it's not one eternal line. It is like somewhere I put the line more thick, somewhere I put it more thin. In some places I don't put the line because it has to be different. Yes, when you paint. So the good way to remember that your line cannot be like a worm, you know, this animal that lives in the ground. It's long and it's the same in all its lengths. Yeah, from the head to the, well, to the tail it gets a bit smaller, but this is the comparison, you know. So don't make worms on your painting. should, like on purpose, think. Yeah, because why I'm telling this, because it happens to everyone. Somehow the brains, they tend draw the line the same. So here you on purpose, yeah, create. So I might a bit darker where the body is. Yeah, so then the octopus has a bit of like weight, you know, so it's not only head and legs, he needs to have a bit more body weight. Huh? So maybe it's even just a bit painting some in between spaces. Here's ready. It's also good, before we continue with all the rest, we said we paint his eye, because then at once you have the feeling that he's kind of alive, he's there. So we have this big white space for eye, and then we sit just a black. So I'm kind of dotting. I just, with dry brush, I took some black. And first, so I kind of dot vertically, and then which it dot, I see, do I want more or like less? I can go less, but I slowly grow bigger my black dot. So I start small and see, enough, not enough. No, maybe a bit bigger, because I have this white part big. Yeah, so maybe like this. Maybe also some.
Evie?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm still at the body.
Good, good. Thank you. Thank you for telling me. I'm waiting. No worries. Yes, I went running with the eye. Yeah. Good, good, good. I wait. Yes. Oh, good. I also work a bit more on the body.
Evie, can I also add a little bit purple shading?
Yes, the purple shading is so if you have it, yes, this adding, like you can add, so you can have your main mix, the reddish, and you can have this purplish parts. Yes. Yes, and purple can be very different. The purple can be light, can be dark. So you can also experiment with the, maybe you wanna, depends. If you want your octopus to be, let's say, more pale, more, like a bit more invisible, let's say, or you wanna make it like bright and fun, and you know, he's saying, here, I'm octopus, and So it can work also, let's say, so you remember the legs. In the start, the legs are bigger. So now with the paint, we can also correct a bit. And let's say my pencil drawing, maybe a bit, I did smaller legs. Now, as I paint, I see, and I just add extra. I add like the thickness to the legs in the start. Then the octopus, he also looks more confident. He doesn't look like weak, that he has like, oh, I have power in my legs. I'm playing also with using water and making acrylic paints more transparent. So sometimes I take like pure paint a lot, and then it feels like solid part. But sometimes like I have these leftovers on my palette and I keep on adding water in there. So when I paint, it's really transparent. And then it helps me kind of not to overdo. So let's say for the end of the legs, I use this half transparent, very waterish paint, and then it looks light. And then I can also, let's say, cover it easy. So when I do water, if my leg there is too fat, too thick, yes, I can cover it. But the start of the legs, I do more solid. Oh, sorry. That was my phone ringing. Yeah.
Think I'm done.
Awesome. Yeah, very good. Okay, so the eye, yeah. Shall we do together the eye, or you're good with eye as well? Yeah, okay. I see Juliet Ellie done. Perfect. So Sanyana, it's basically, yeah, just this black dot. But
yeah, I was finished.
Yeah, you're done. Very good. So now I suggest we do the water, and then we can do the white dots, the ones that he's kind of sticking to the places. So and then we come back and also improve our octopus, but this time it's good to do the water because we're going to be getting in between, and then we will correct the collisions, because now the blue will be getting a bit on top of octopus and other way. So let's take blues. Yeah. So I suggest to have, let's say, one darker, one lighter, but you can have it also again like one color and then just adding white. And I take also a bit bigger brush, but depends, like I will probably be using both. When it comes to these parts, then I take a bit bigger for the parts where it's more space, and for the small corners, I continue with the smaller brush. Yeah, and so I kind of use both. And remember, darker water at the bottom, lighter at the top. And so let's see, I have one color. And here again, it doesn't have to be like perfectly painted in the meaning. So it's not a color. The blue doesn't have to be there perfectly. It can have like, let's say, emptinesses, bubbles, yeah. So the main, we create the illusion, it is water. But again, if you make it more interesting, the more interesting looks your painting, yeah. So here I kind of try, so I have darker blue and lighter blue, and I can work also in parallel. I can have like stripes of dark, then I can add in between a bit lighter, and then they mix also on paper. And what I also do, that I'm switching. Remember, as I told you, kind of putting just the paint, and then I add my brush more to the water and kind of dilute. Yeah, so some parts of my water, they look more transparent, and some parts look more kind of tense. Yeah, and again, no rushing with the job. Kind of try to enjoy getting in between his legs. Maybe you use also now the blue to kind of form also the shape of the leg. So if somewhere it's not perfect, maybe you can correct. For this works. My suggestion always is to use less mixes. So remember, we talked earlier, when you mix some complicated combination, it's harder to get it again the same. And when you have a big area to cover, then of course it's more complicated. It's better just to take a pure color from the tube, or maybe have it like mixed just with one, let's say with white or with one color. So yeah, then you can, because in the big area, of course, you spend more paint and the upper parts, I already went with one upper part. I suggest also mix a little bit your blue with white. Again, the same proportion, you need much more white and just tiny bit of blue. But this upper part, sorry if I didn't tell at once and maybe you're already up, but yeah, in acrylics, there is always a way to lighten up. Even if let's say I already went with darker blue on top, I can actually go just directly, but when it's dry, I go directly with white on top. But my white is waterish. So there is also a name for this technique when you have one color on bottom and on top you go with the half transparent layer. So then you can still see the first layer. Let's say the first layer is dark blue, and I go on top with waterish white. So I get a lighter blue. Yeah, and it's also nice technique. I use it a lot. Yeah. Yeah, and again, coming down a bit more darker blue.
Evie,
Yes, sorry.
at the end, can I tell I already have an idea what I want to do.
Yes, of course. I'm very excited to hear. You can tell now also if you want.
Okay, so I want to do like and like the star signs. I saw it somewhere that you have to take this tape and then make your star sign with it, and then you gotta put some paints on and color it, but you also have to have white frame. So we need for the star sign some tape, and then for the frame some tape. And then you just color it and then take it off and it looks pretty. But if like for small kids, you just have to squirt some and put at the star sign with the tape, and then just put the paint, put a cover, and then you can touch it, you can step on it and do everything. That's also an idea.
Interesting. Okay, it sounds yeah, the end part I maybe didn't get it perfectly, like what you put on top that you can step on it. It's like, but and signs, you mean like horoscope, right?
Star signs.
Star signs, like the one of the months, like
yeah.
each person has its own sign. That's a very interesting idea. Yes. What sign are you?
Cancer.
You're Cancer. All right. And you know how your sign looks in the graphic way? What's the image?
I don't know. I forgot.
Okay, then there is also that first we discover what is our sign. Then we look on internet how our sign is represented. And yes, we can make some interesting painting. Yeah, so
when can we do that?
So usually we're painting this time on Wednesdays every week. Yes.
Okay.
So maybe the next week. Yes, I ask what also the girls think, if they like the idea about the signs. Yeah, astrology, it's very interesting to discover. But then the problem is that we all are different signs. So let's say I have different sign, the girls, they are born also. So then probably we need to prepare at home each our own sign, like in a pencil drawing. But then we color it together, like each color is own sign. And yes, so you prepare with the pencil your sign, and then yes. And was it something, so what was it? It was the sign painted and it was something else on the painting, or like maybe
no, you just have to do like a white frame too with the tape. You just put some tape, like when we can also do it for fun, that we also have a cover.
Yes.
And then we just put it on, put the paint, and then put the cover on. And then we can do like fingerprints and everything. So it's a little more interesting how it will turn out. Or you can just do it with a paintbrush, just put paint and do it with a paintbrush.
Yeah. All right. Interesting. Yes. About this covering, it's something new to me. I will try to discover. Mhm. So how's going with the water, Juliet, Ellie?
Good. Okay.
All right, need more time?
I'm almost done. I just need to blend the top part together.
Good, good, good. Yeah. Blending. That's a very good. I was talking too much. Yes, I also forgot to mention. So blending, either you can be kind of foxy and have like in between, because we have our curvy legs of octopus. So I can use them as the, let's say, blending barrier. Yeah, I have one color one side, one color the other. But of course, it always looks more beautiful when you do the job and you kind of blend. Yeah, so the color goes from one side to another. Yeah. Good. Maybe around his head, I can put a bit darker. So then kind of this our purpley, no, sorry, this pinky light is a bit more visible. Yeah, so let's say I had there very light blue around the head, and then the head wasn't so visible. But now I put a bit more darker. Yeah, so you also, you remember the rule that when you're painting light, it is only visible if you put something dark next to it, if you put shadow or, so if you're painting a yellow star, it will be bright if you put dark blue around. But if around you put light blue, then your star will not shine. So this rule works kind of for all these moments, yes, where you want. Yes, Juliet.
I finished with the water. I don't know if it's the last part, but I'm gonna add fishy once it dries.
Yes. But before fishy, we still need to add these white dots.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if you have somewhere the cotton.
I'm also done.
Yeah, the cotton pad around, you know, this one that you use in the bathroom for ears. Yeah, so this one, because it's easy, but of course a brush can also work, maybe some old brush, but the cotton pads are fun. And you know,
When I was trying to make the water on top of it, fell onto my octopus, so it looked like it was crying, but then I had to paint it over.
Oh.
Even though it wasn't coming from its eye, it looked like it was coming from a random dot on his head.
Oh.
And I'm Evie. I'm also done, but I couldn't really get the like the octopus. Some parts are like the octopus and water together. Some parts are not like so even and everything.
Mm-hmm. But don't worry. Now maybe when we put these white dots of him, maybe it will help you connecting the So again, so I here have a pile of white paint, and remember the first dots are always bigger. So start with those parts that are kind of closer, in the start of the leg. And then when I already have less paint on my cotton thing, I can do the little dots on the end. Yeah, so we can have this gradation. So maybe, somewhere here, like I put a big dots, yes. And again, don't worry if they're not perfect. Yeah, I'm also turning my cotton but differently, yeah. And again, they don't have to go all around. So I put them here, yes, then I stop. And then maybe somewhere in the end, I put again. So I'm jumping. When I fill up my cotton thing, I go to the places where the dots are big. And then when it's already a little paint left, I can go to some other places where it's smaller. So, and this is also the moment if, let's say you have some parts, maybe it's not really nicely connected, the water, the leg, you can also now hide it. And in general, like those dots, they come in double line, like Octopus, they have them kind of double. But again, you can, somewhere you can show two of them, somewhere you can show yeah, so it's kind of also now a bit fun playing around with the dots. And somewhere yes, somewhere no. And here I put the dots, like my dot is a bit on top of the water and the half on top of the octopus. Yeah, so it's also the trick. So if needed, a bit more white.
Yeah.
We have to do them all. Do we put them on certain parts?
Yeah, no, exactly. Not all the legs and not all the places. Yeah, just like where it feels to, and because he's turning his legs. So in some places you don't see. Yeah, so no, not everywhere. Just till it looks good and
I'm gonna
Evie, I wanted
add the fish. I'm gonna wait till it dries to add the fish, but this is what it looks like.
all right. Yeah, let's take a look how Juliet's octopus. Oh, nice one. Like it very much, the top of the water that is lighter. Looks very good.
Can I also draw the fishes?
Yes, let's do the fishes, of course. Let's see what color suits well to our
I think maybe white or something.
yes, white could be. I'm thinking
Yellow?
yeah, yellow. I was also thinking about yellow. Good tip.
I think I'm gonna do both of them.
Yeah. So let's say we all choose our own color for fish.
Can we also do other colors, like both of them or something?
Yes, I mean, if you have space, you can, of course, add, you know, there is so much things in underwater, but still kind of our main thing is octopus. So the rest is just like, you know, like an accent, like here, a little body, you know, so maybe I put here, that maybe octopus is talking with this little fishy. Yeah, so now I put like yellow color with white, and I wait till it's dry, and then I can add some details. Yeah, so like octopus is looking, say, oh, hello, fishy. Long time no see. And what I also, so this now is just suggestion. This is something you don't have to do if you don't feel to. But what I do now, I add a little bit brownish lines. You know, like, let's say like if it's a marker and we do the outlines, only I do it with the brush and like very thin. So I'm experimenting how it looks. So you on your side, yeah, because brown can be a bit maybe also dangerous, because then it gets a bit too, but I just wanted to check how it looks. Yeah, so I add kind of adding a bit more shadows or a bit more. Just to make the octopus a bit more intense. And I'm using like very light brown, but I mean light in the meaning it's with lots of water. So then I'm staying kind of on a safe side.
Can I also add some brown on the head?
Yes, if you feel, you know, that somewhere maybe the darkness is missing, you can add a bit, of course, yeah? So.
I give my first fish an eye.
Oh, I love to see a fishy.
I'm
Yes.
gonna make another orange.
Exactly, this actually color was the best, the orange one, fishy. I might correct myself now and add a bit orange here. Yeah. Well, fishes, they can have like, they're colorful, so. Can have an eye also. All right. Small, tiny fish. Also, for example, if the eye of octopus, like the white part, looks too white, sometimes it happens, then you can also add, let's say, very watery pink, you know. This is you check, like when you look at the painting and then it's like, this area is kind of popping out too much, you know, it's like too much attention that maybe you don't want, you know. And then this is kind of what you do with every painting. You check when you're already almost in the end of your work, you look it all together and you check if there are some areas they are kind of jumping out among the others, and then and then usually it's maybe light parts, and then you just kind of add, like calm them down, you know. This is
I'm done.
all right. If it's possible to see, I don't know if you can, like, if your drawing is not too wet and you can lift it up. But if it's still drying, then I'm just of course curious to see. And
I can show this drawing like this. It's gonna be upside down.
yeah. Oh wow, you're such a good painter. Look at this. Look how good you did the light part of the sea, and you have lots of other fishes, I think, there. Nice. Oh, very beautiful.
I also drew for some of the fish's eyes.
Yeah. Cool, but amazing job, Sayana. You're natural artist. Very nice.
Thank you.
Yes. Good one, good one.
Okay, now I'm gonna put all the paints back in. But you have to do something.
I think Sanyana, your drawing is good. You know, it's also like sometimes one should be careful with not overdoing with the painting. Sometimes we continue.
I'm finish up with my fish.
Yeah. Let's see the fishes, girls.
Shall I put my paints back in?
A nice one. Wow, yellow and orangey. Yeah, like two friends, two girls, fishes friends came to say hi to Octopus.
I wonder if I should add any other detail. Coral.
Say again, sorry?
I wonder if I should add anything like coral or like seaweed.
If you have space, of course, you can add some floral parts. Of course, that's, I don't have, but if I would add, what I would do, I would use the, even not the brush. Remember, we used sometimes the sponge. Yeah, so with the sponge, like just somewhere like in between. Well, let me try, maybe just.
Can I do the chorus under?
Yeah, I mean, so Sanyana, like sometimes we have this like just sponge from the kitchen, we use it, and it's kind of nice.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get that and then try to also do like the coral at the end with the sponge.
Wow, sounds amazing. So I take off my tape so I get a frame.
Let me get this button.
Right.